Hi everyone, this is Silver Sprout. It has been a while since I've made a video, actually since before the Taming Bestiary updates, um, and I'm here to kind of explain what the Bestiary does. It's a special book that's made by a scribe at 110 skill that gives you bonuses for all your pets. Um, You can get up to 20% increase in damage from your Beastmaster abilities here, all the way up to Beastmaster number 5. And that adds resistance as well. 1% resistance per Beastmaster level. And then all in the in-between spell skills, they help with healing and curing and usage of materials. Then Underdog is the big one. It increases the damage done by your creatures by 0.7% per level and 0.2% damage resistance per level above the current skill of the creature. It's the difference between your skill and the creature skill. So if you have a pet with 50 animal taming and you're 120 taming, you get a huge bonus for those pets. So it makes most pets viable now in PVM. It works for PvP as well, Underdog. All right. So I'm not going to get in a lot of depth about the bestiary, but I think it's probably the best thing that you could do as a new tamer to get. It's going to be your biggest damage increase besides your aspect. Um, so it's definitely worth getting as soon as possible. It only costs 25 arcane scrolls and an MCD or a master crafting diagram. So very, very good. And I'm going to be using it today on this test run just to show, I guess, how strong it can make your pets. I've ran tests without it, of course, and there's an obvious difference in the speed of the run. I'm also using an archery build. This is one of my favorite builds right now. The archer, I think, is wonderful. Um, I use an aspect, water aspect, for bigger heals, more hinders. It's a great aspect for starter tamers, just because Dexter tamers, because it's very cheap to build, and it is a great aspect. Um, it's nearly the same DPS as command. I've found out over multiple tests. Just depends on which pets you run, what build you run. Water increases user damage more. Command increases pet damage more, and both have their advantages. I just happen to like water more than command still. Even if it's a little less damage, there's a lot of utility in the water suit. And now to the build. So the build I have here, generally I run resist on my Dexer. I actually do on live right now. I took away Arms Lore and put resist on my build to fight PKs and whatnot. But this is a good build right here for anyone that doesn't plan on fighting PKs, but just running from PKs. And for an archer, you don't really need resist because you're staying out of the battle most of the time. And then you'll get to see how this looks in the field. I'm going to run a DPS test in Pulma, my usual, but you can run this build through any dungeon, under mountain, even, and that's kind of a harder dungeon. You can do it solo, pretty easy with archery and mage pets. Anyway, let's get on with the run. I'm going to go to Pulma, and then we'll start that damage test as soon as we get there. And as far as the weapon goes, it's just an exceptional bow, just water bow. And I don't have any of the special foci or chain. Of course, if you add a chain and links and all that, you're going to do a significant amount of damage more than what this build is. But even without all that extra stuff, this is a very good build. Um, one other thing, the Drowned Dragon is the tank. Um, I got his stats as max damage, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of armor, speed to 2.49 to reach its breaking point, and then whatever points left I put in hits. And I gave him survival abilities, a few of them, to decrease the damage taken just in case. It means less healing. And the Ruby Wyrmling, it is damage, attack speed to 2.49 to get its breaking point, and then the rest in wrestling. I really didn't need to put that many points in wrestling. I didn't mean to do that, but it really doesn't matter right now. You could invest some in armor, some in magic resist, or hits, whatever you want. All right, I need to see if there's anything else important before starting this run. I think that's it. This team works very well for a Dexter. Drowned Dragon, it lowers defense and armor, so it helps your user damage quite a bit, and it helps any other physical pets on the team do more damage. And the Ruby Wyrmling, it reduces armor for a very long period of time too. Its ability, Massive Ruby Breath, it decreases armor for 30 seconds against 3 targets, and that's a long time. Usually it's only 15 seconds for special abilities to last. All right, that is enough about all that. Let's start the run. All right. Usually pets don't get stuck, so that'll slow us down a bit, but it's all good. Oops. So if you wanted to refer to older videos without a bestiary, you can go to my YouTube and watch other videos, but this team, I've never ran this team before, I don't think. Not in my past videos. Since the update, a lot of stats got remastered, and skills were changed on pets significantly. And there are meta teams. I've been testing for the last 2 months, nearly every day. And I'll share with everyone the meta teams that I found. So you can notice the hindering with this build is insane. Like you have a 44% chance to hinder with all of the upgrades, like arms lore, or not upgrades, I'm sorry, the skill, and then water aspect. So you'll do a lot of overpowering effects, which does a ton of damage for an archer. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the codex. The archery codex, it is somewhere in here. There we go. So I mean to have maiming and then pin cushion. Those two together, I think, is a very good combo. Maiming, it hinders the foe for longer periods of time, so you can basically hinder everything in the area so your pets don't take all the area damage. I meant to turn the Wyrmling on non-aggressive here. So made some mistakes already, but it's all good. We will get through it. And see, the nice thing about hindering is you don't really have to worry about AoE as much. Oops. We're going to try to hinder that guy. See how I hindered him just now? So he'll just sit there and wait until we're done with this dragon. I'm not being very good with my arms lore, am I? You can see how big the hits are with archery. It's pretty amazing with the overpowered effects. And you see how much damage you do with the finisher? That's insane too. Always like seeing that. We're gonna save the disarm for this guy down here. Maybe we'll fight him first, actually. So another variation of this build, you can drop tactics completely, and then arms lore to 80, and then add in herding. It's a good build as well. I just like tactics for PvP. And I've said that many times in the past. See, they're both hindered now, so they're not going to hit your dragons. Like at that moment, I should have ran in and healed. That's your opportunity to take care of your pets. There we go. So I hindered that guy and hindered him. Kill him with the disarm here. Oh, he's attacking me directly here. Not a big deal. Hopefully we can hinder him. As you can see, you can rip through the dungeon pretty easily. And the AoE from the two mobs here, the Drowned Dragon and Ruby Wyrmling, it's pretty nice together. It takes care of smaller mobs around the area, so they don't become a problem. Especially effective in places like Aegis Keep and now Darkmire Temple. There we go. See the finisher up there? 272 damage per hit. And you hit like, I think 4 or 5 times. Archery has some of the best finishers, I think, out of all of them. Alright. Like in all my videos, I just hit the same mobs over and over. I don't loot them. But roughly, I have a full bag by that last mob. That's why I stopped there. I just run to the very end here. And we'll stop the tracker right at the gate. Alrighty. So now that we have a gold tracker, we don't have to worry about picking up gold anyway. So you can see, I don't know why it's 28,000 gold, because obviously we wouldn't have had that much gold. I don't think, unless they got an increase in gold for some reason. Usually by the end there I have 13,000. But let's ignore that for now. Anyway, the DPS being 91.49, that is very good. With a build that's not full glass cannon. This particular team I really do like the most, I think, for the archer. But there are other creatures that I do enjoy. Test reset, so I don't have all the creatures here that I had on test earlier. But one of my favorite teams is right here, Lamura and 2 Eldritch Drakes. A lot of people are running that now. Works very, very well for an archer as well as a mage. Eldritch Drakes, they strip magic resist, so they kind of take care of their own DPS without your help. And then it helps a mage do more damage too if you're casting spells. But it works just as well for the archer, especially in places like Undermountain. Other pets that are really good, in my opinion, with the archer, the army ants. They're the best single slot pet that I have tried so far for archery. They're better than Komodos for archery. They're better than sandmucks. They're better than everything, pretty much. Yeah, I can't think of anything else with the archer at the moment, but it works well with most pet teams, especially if you have Drowned Dragon on your team or some army ants. Army ants, they have the same kind of ability that the Drowned Dragon does. They lower defense and armor with their special. So it helps you hit more often and it helps your other pets hit more often. It's kind of a very important trait, I would say, um, if you're not running fencing. You can have just 1 or 2 pets on your team that lower defense, and it helps a lot. Or just have arms lore. That lowers defense as well, pretty significantly. 25%, I believe. All right. So this is the end of my first video back. I will be making more videos on pet teams, and then different kind of builds as well that I like to run. I'll be running my resist build. I think now, actually, Undermountain might be on test. So let me check that out real quick. I'll go to Undermountain if it's open. Then I'll show kind of how this team works down there. Let's see. Well, I don't have it in my book. I took it out and put it in my house. So, of course, on test, there's no houses, so my rune is gone. So maybe another time I'll mark a rune and do a video on Undermountain. But until then, I hope everyone has a good night. And thanks for watching first video back since the Bestiary came out. All right. Bye, guys.